Okay, so here we have the b18c4 refresh. Just to re-gasket everything, ARP head studs, give everything a little bit of a refresh and a repaint so it was ready to go in. I didn't want to put this engine in and have gasket leaks and little bits and bobs go wrong. So a few little mods as well while I was at it, but this is just a stripped down process, trying to keep all the nuts and bolts safe. And luckily 99% of them I didn't end up losing, which I was expecting a hell of a lot more than that. Some things like this breather on the back, we're not going to need that because we'll be going aftermarket with that.
Yeah, just do whatever you need.
While stripping this down, it was quite a clean setup, to be honest, and it's obviously been well cared for. There was no major leaks or damage or anything like that. Everything was in pretty good nick. This cam belt and water pump and stuff has been replaced recently, but we need to whip the head off to put in the ARP head studs, so unfortunately that's got to go and it'll all be replaced. I have tallied up how much this has cost me as well, and we'll go over that at the end. What I'm doing here with the card just prevents you mixing up or losing any bolts. You just draw a little picture of the cam and punch your holes in them. Again here, it's just to keep the cam caps in the correct position, just so I don't lose them. The cams, they'll be going back in the standard C4 cams, so try not to damage them.
If you get loads of stuff, you said we got a backlog of stuff, so that's helped me out a little bit. Shot this fucking stuff.
There was no signs of any damage to the head gasket or anything like that, so that had all been fine. No sealing issues, but that's going to be changed out. And then splitting the S9B LSD gearbox off it here. That got sold because we're going all-wheel drive now, and I'll get into that in a minute. With the all-wheel drive stuff I managed to get for free. Now, because it's going boosted, had to have little AN fittings on everything. So on the rocker here for the breather setup, and then also on the sump for the turbo drain. So I just bought them on eBay, drilled the holes, and I took it to a local shop and got them to weld it up for me. They charged me £40 to weld the sump and the fittings on the rocker cover there. Don't know if that's a good price or not, but that's what I paid, and that's the only place local to me that I know. I've used OEM Honda gaskets for 99% of things, just because I do not want to run into any issues and have to pull stuff apart again. The ARP head studs were quite expensive. They're £195.99, but you definitely want these when you're boosting. You don't want any head lift issues or, you know, these old head bolts that might have been reused, so they've stretched.
Yeah.
This is a used stage 1 competition clutch I got off eBay for £114.20. Hasn't seen a hell of a lot of use, so I'm quite pleased to get that for that price. Because, you know, the stock clutch that was in it, who knows how long it's going to last, really. And then you can see here now it's got the all-wheel drive CRV Mark 1 gearbox fitted to it. I managed to get this gearbox along with a few other little bits and bobs off a guy at the gym. He's a motor trader, and they had a Mark 1 CRV in that they'd used for a bit of green laning and a bit of fun, and he was scrapping it. And he said, yeah, just come remove the box. So that sort of changed the angle of where this project was going, because, you know, it was silly to turn it down. And it was silly not to go all drive, considering I was going to get these bits for free. And now, because we're going turbo, we're going to be running a P28 ECU, and a P28 ECU will not understand the valves that the C4 has got in the inlet manifold. So we're removing that and just using some shorter bolts there to put the plenum, I believe it's called, back on. And now we're fitting the all-wheel drive mounts. I've had these for absolutely years from Hasport sitting on the shelf, and I just never got around to using them. So really pleased to use them on this project and actually have a go at it. And that's basically it. Everything's been given a good clean and a refresh. Gaskets, ARP studs, etc, etc. All looking nice and OEM. I want it to look as clean under the bonnet as I can. I don't want people to open it up and know exactly what they're dealing with. So yeah, hopefully it's ready to go in now. We can start making some real, changes with this project. It's been a bit of a slow burner, unfortunately, but we got there now. So in total now, parts sold off of the MB6 or MC2, whatever you want to call it, that I bought, is £1,130 worth of parts sold off of it. Originally paid £1,950 for the car, so that means currently I've only got £820 into this swap. Obviously outside of what I've got on the right here, the ARP head studs, the clutch, AN fitting, service items, etc. But pretty good. So when you total that up, it adds up to £2,339 all in to this C4 swap into the EJ9. That's also including the bucket seat that I bought and carpet and the ECU and all that sort of stuff, which I've not shown you yet. So I'm happy with that so far. To go all drive and it's fully ready for boost.